Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel. Previously on the channel we were working on this 1978 Kohler K341. In the last video we finished getting everything put back together, all except for I was waiting on my rings that I had ordered a month before and I had never got them. I actually finally got my rings. They are actually on my piston right now, as you all can see, which is nice. So what we are going to do, I got them mounted on there right. I even left that spring in there. As you guys can see, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I'll make sure to leave a diagram or something in there for you guys. That way you know how to put your rings in. What we are going to do today is we are going to get these rings spaced out, put this piston in the engine. I don't have any oil at the moment for engine oil. I'm going to have to get some. So we might not be able to run this motor today. I guess we'll have to see. I've got my rings all timed. This right here faces the flywheel. This right here is a timing mark. Never mind, my bolts are still in my rod end. But this right here is a mark. This faces, or this mark will line up with the one on the bottom of the rod. And so that's how you know which way your bottom of your rod faces. And then up inside of here, I'm sure you guys can't see it, but there's a mark on the piston rod that shows you which way faces towards the flywheel. I found this downstairs. We're going to have to see if it works, and if it works, how it works. As you can see, it's a little bit too big. I don't know if it's too big or not. We're going to have to see how it works. I've never used one of these before. I've seen one, but I've never used one. I've always used screwdrivers. I'm sure you guys who watch my channel have seen that. That's what I use. We're stepping up our game today. Damn it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to compress this. There we go. Maybe I can. So, see, I've already started to, there goes that. I've already started to compress this. Let's get it, make sure my rings are still where I put them, which they are. I'll get this put over top of my piston. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I can't find my extensions for this, so we're just going to have to do it like that. There we go. I would say they're compressed. I need to find my, I know I have one somewhere up here on this table actually, but how convenient, I have no idea where they are. See? That's compressed. You can see on bottom too. Everything looks good. Wait a minute, that one hangs out. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the ring that I'm looking at in there? That better not be the ring. I don't see it anywhere else. It might just be. Oh, that's where this folds. Alright, yeah, that's just where it folds. So this way is the way that we want facing the front. Hopefully. We're going to be easy with it. What the hell? There we go. We're putting a warm piston into a cold engine. Probably. What am I hitting? Damn it. That stud. That stud's loose, right? No. This might be in my way. How convenient. Oh, I can rotate this. I just want to face it that way. See, that was my issue. So now when I grab my handle, we're going to be careful when we do this. Okay, it just got hung up on what and why. Okay, the springs are compressed. I'll bet you it hit the crank. That has to be what it hit. There we go. Okay. What are we hitting? Whoa, those got real dirty real fast. Oh my. I'm going to take a second to wipe this off. Should have took a second to wipe that out. It's probably a good thing that didn't go in there. There we go, that already looks a lot better. There we go. That looks nice and clean. So now, let's give it another shot. That looks good. My things are where I want them, so that's good. I guess that's some sort of release. There we go. Let's try it again. Well, I got the piston in. A couple of days ago we had some really nice weather here and it caused everything here in the shop to start to sweat and get wet, I guess is another way to say it, just sweat or get wet or whatever. And unfortunately it caused my engine to flash rust. As you can see, this surface right here is all rusty. There's a little bit right here. There's some up here. This is rusty. We're going to take a second just to go over this and clean it up. I should have done this before I put the piston in, but I didn't know it was like this until I was putting it in and flipped it over. I could not get the spacer thingy, whatever it's called, to work, so I just did the tried and true method and grabbed some screwdrivers. This latch right here kept on letting go when I'd get it tight enough, so I just figured, well, oh well, we'll just go back to screwdrivers again. I had nothing wrong with screwdrivers. Personally, I thought they did pretty well. See, it's all just wiping off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it easy on this engine. I'm not going to put it right to work when I get it back together. I did that with the 140 and I kind of regret it. We're going to put some hours on it. We'll maybe put, I don't know, we'll probably end up putting 3 or 4 hours on it. I'll try to keep the hours I put on this engine down. We'll use it for a little bit, and then after I use it for a little bit, I'll probably pull the head off of it, depending on how the engine runs. And just kind of go over it and look and see how things are looking inside. Hopefully everything goes together like I want. Let me grab my oil pan gasket. We will just do the right thing and put this right here and think, man, I wish there was an oil pan here. I torqued the piston rod bolts with the old Torculator 9000. This thing goes click, and then you go to the bottom one, click. So now we can take our gasket, put it this way, we can take our gasket, stick him on there, tell him you better hold in all that oil, and right here how convenient is our oil pan, and it actually looks pretty clean. So let me get my bolts. Hopefully these are the correct bolts. They might be, they might not be. They look like the correct bolts. Yes, they are. Cool. So let's get this guy on here. Today the 316 video is actually going up. Yesterday was CPAC. Trump was on and he was talking. It was good to hear from him again. Yesterday was that. I don't know what today is. I'll have to go back and find out. All I know is today is Sunday. Which, how convenient. I just uploaded a video today on this tractor. And I just got my rings yesterday. I was kind of pissed. I thought, you know, I wish I had them a couple weeks ago. I could have got that engine all put together and running. But how convenient. They decided to send me them late. We'll leave that one on bottom. So we're going to get this on here. Hopefully this engine runs. I really probably should turn that over a little bit just to make sure that it wants to turn over. But, nah. Then we'll just take our torque wrench and get it torqued to spec. Just want to get these in here for right now. The little ears that you guys see, this is where your engine mounts into the cradle into the tractor, so ignore those. There are some engines, these are oil pan bolts, and they have a bigger oil pan to them than what you guys see right here. I don't really think that they used those engines except for on the older stuff. I don't think they ever used them on the newer stuff. I might be wrong. I know Gravely used them. I know Cub used them. I don't know if... I don't think Deere ever did. I should have stuck a little bit of oil in the bottom of the piston, in the bottom of the board, but yeah. I might stick a little in the top end. Supposedly that was the reason that my engine in the 140 now burns oil, even though it was rebuilt, was because the oil I put in it. I doubt that, but you never know. Click. 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 There we go. All of them clicked, as you guys saw. So now, we get to do the fun part. We get to put the head on. Maybe. There we go. Pistons up all the way. Let go of my jacket. So now, let go. We get to do the fun part. Spin it over and just watch and make sure that everything is doing as it is supposed to. This one's going down. Now it's coming up. Compression. Ooh. I watched it do the exhaust stroke, the intake, compression, and exhaust. Awesome. So now we are ready and we can get this motor put back together. I wish your standard would come up a little bit, but unfortunately it doesn't. So that is where you guys are going to have to set, wait, and watch. Just going to get all the surface flash rust off of my cylinder head. If you're wondering how I got that piston so clean, I actually wire wheeled it. I cleaned it up because it was kind of messy earlier. I couldn't get all the rust off of it that had formed on it, so I just took it in there and wire wheeled it. I checked it to make sure there was no pitting. There was no pitting, which is good. So yeah. So now we get to do the honors of head gasket. Let's get this out of here. Gasket definitely looks good. Looks like it's a decent quality gasket. I was actually wrong. This kit came from Greece. It did not come from China. Why it came from Greece, I have no idea, but it was supposed to be made in the USA. It was made in Greece though, which I don't have anything wrong with Greece, but I'd like to know why it wasn't made here in America. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. 10 head bolts. As in, this is the correct head gasket. Let's drop it on. Of course, you know, you're supposed to do it this way, but you know, that's overrated. You gotta test the ways. You gotta make sure it wants to go on both ways, which it doesn't. So now we know. Head gasket's on. Can you guys see? What all do you guys see? I can't raise you up any higher. You're about as high as I can get you. Anyway, you want to make sure your head gasket is facing the right way, and you can see every single one of these holes right here, as you can see. If you can't see every single one of the holes, well, your shroud's in the way. Or, see? So now I will grab my head. The nice thing about having a stud like I do right there is it keeps your head gasket in place as you drop in the head. Let's get the head installed. God damn it. What are we hitting? Great. Well, apparently me putting this on, it's going to have to go. It's going to have to go, or it's going to have to move back a little. I don't know if I can move that back without taking the muffy off. I have to take the muffy off. More than likely. So now after we get this EPA garbage off of here, we should be able to turn over the engine. Not turn over the engine, we should be able to put the head on the motor, hopefully. And after we do that, I think all that we need to do after we get the head put on here is put the tractor, marry the engine with its tractor again, put some oil in it. We'll just put it over there and pretend it's out of the way. Now it's time for the moment of truth. What now? There. Happy. So now, this is actually my fault. I put all my bolts back, which now that I've done that has screwed with putting the head in. I kind of figured it would, but oh well. There we go. All of them are out. Trying to get this guy out. There we go. Let's get the head buried with our gasket like that. There we go. So now, one by one, if you're wondering what the torque spec is for the head, being truly honest with you guys, I have no idea what it is. I just tighten them down to they're tight for my liking. And when they're tight for my liking, they're good. We'll give a click on the torque wrench when I feel like they're tight. Right now I'm using my feeler gauges to install some hardware or software. Here, pick. We'll just get this guy started. We'll put him on last because nut lives don't matter. And then we'll put him in and put him in and come over here and just get these three started. Obviously later. There we go. And last but least, there we go. So now we get to do the honors of the torque wrenching. Just gonna tighten them all down until they're all flush with the head and they don't want to go anymore, because that's the right thing to do. Next scene is going to be a we do it right, because we do it twice scene. We're going to have to take the head back off and put a valve in or something. I don't know yet. We'll find out whatever it is. I'm getting worried because we're getting pretty far into this and I'm going to open my mouth. Okay, what's the deal here? There we go. I was going to say we better not have a stripped thread. You want to go in. I think the shroud is going to be in my way for this one. And there is a pattern supposedly to doing this. I have no idea what the pattern is. I just go in a circle and I tighten them. That one's decent. So we'll just come over here and get him tight. Let me move you guys back so that I can torque these head bolts and not get distracted. Actually, this part I'm gonna wait until the tractor is, or the engine is in the tractor to do that. So we can put this thing back. We can put this bolt back. Where is the? We'll probably get all these tightened down and then we'll do this. Probably. We'll have to see. I guess it depends on what mood I'm in. There we go. So we'll just drop our Muffy in here. So. There we go. guys won't be able to see, but I guess it doesn't matter. So this one in here is our throttle. As you all can see. This one here is going to go to the choke. The throttle goes to this one in the back, right here. I think we just hook it up to this guy right here. Actually, we probably want to get him hooked up from the inside, like so. Come on, man. Damn it. Let's try again. Need a flathead screwdriver or something to hold this in place. If I could get it like that, I would. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to take this off. Hopefully not, but we'll have to see. Actually, that is a 1/2 inch bolt holding that piece on there, and it just so happens I have a 1/2 inch bolt, or a 1/2 inch socket. That's a 7/16 actually. And it just so happens my 7/16 looks like it ran away. Now that my 7/16 has decided to come back, we will take it and we will loosen this, obviously that way. Hopefully, we've loosened it enough that it will do what I want. Use this. Don't even think about it. Damn it. Ooh, where did it go? As soon as I bent it, I was worried I broke it. Bending it back might, but we'll just have to see. You know, there we go. For those of you who didn't think I'd get it, I did. So now, I'll put that one there. Actually, we'll just leave it like so. And then this one will be for the choke crankage to hook up to. If we can, there we go. So now that we currently have no choke, I mean, at least there's something there. It's not just floating in the breeze. So just do that like so. Actually, I'm gonna need my butthead screwdriver. Got my convertible screwdriver. It'll convert like a car. Take this and put him right there and crank him down like so. We go. So now when I hit the throttle, there it goes. Throttle's up and down, as it should. And the choke obviously won't do anything yet, but let's get this tight. You know, it would help you if you grab the correct ratchet that just conveniently has the correct socket on it. There we go. It does seem like that linkage in my throttle is starting to loosen up, which is good. So now what we need to do is we need to get that points wire ran to the other side of the engine to the coil, and after I do that, it should be ready to go after we put crimps on the battery wires. So let me get that done real fast, and then I guess we'll do the right thing and drop a battery in it. Actually not yet, because I don't have oil for it, so we'll have to wait on oil. And then after we get that part done, well, we'll get it, at least put it together, that way it's ready to go when I get oil. So yeah, I will get that wire ran, your battery light's flashing, and after I do that, I'll bring you all back. Well, it's been about 2 months since the last time that you guys have seen this tractor. Actually, since I started filming this video has elapsed about 2 months. In the time that it has taken me to record this video, I have got the 210, the 2140s, and I think the 212, but I'm not sure. And also another project I don't have yet. We are finally getting back into the 316. I have been waiting for the price of oil to go down. I thought it was way too high there for a while. And plus, at the same time, I was already buying stuff. So, of course, I had to wait. And then here is what I got. I wanted non-synthetic oil. Apparently, non-synthetic oil costs more than fully synthetic, which really makes me scratch my head. At least from the place I got it from. So we are going to put it in the tractor today. Hopefully this thing will run good. I know the engine has compression due to an accident. I know that it cranks good and everything. My solenoid decided to stick and it didn't want to shut off. I had to disconnect the battery in order to get it to stop spinning, and it had no oil in it. So that was fun. So I put a new solenoid in it. Not a new solenoid, but a slightly used solenoid, and it seems like it works now. So I'm going to put that oil in the motor. We're going to watch it real closely to make sure the engine doesn't leak, as well as I got a new battery today. The price of batteries went down quite a bit, which really surprised me, so I picked one up. I've got another. I didn't take a battery up for a core charge. I will be doing that probably Monday. The price of batteries went down. I didn't know it went down until we went in today. We were on our way home from work, and I saw that the price of batteries went down from $22 to, I think it was $17 or $16, and I thought, no way, I've never seen them that low. So I had to grab one, and well, yep. So I got a battery, so I'm happy. So let's go on ahead, and I'm going to put another battery in the camera. As you guys can tell, I'm excited, I'm rambling. And let's go on ahead and get this oil put in this engine, and once we do that, hopefully I can get all my stuff off of my workbench here, and maybe we'll drive the tractor. Okay, you guys set up in the tripod, as well as one thing I forgot to mention is in the time that it's taken me to get oil for this, we've gone into war with Russia and Ukraine. World War III is started. What a fucking mess. And of course, you know, we're getting into a war that we don't need to be in. But anyway, that's not my responsibility to talk about, and I don't want to talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it. I hope you guys understand. I like talking politics, but you know, this is a tractor video, not a political video. So I don't want to lose subscribers from this video. Let's get the hood open. Let's see, dipstick's on that side, damn it. I don't know if the motor has spark. I do know that it has a compression though, from like I said before. No condensation, it still looks good. That's good. So let's just see. I thought about grabbing a quart and just dumping the oil from this into the quart, because you only put about 2 or so quarts in these motors. And once I put my 2 quarts in it, we'd be good to go. Set that down there. Just put enough. I want to keep an eye on it too to make sure it doesn't leak, so. But yeah, hopefully it runs good. And it don't leak. But that should be enough for right now. I want to make sure I don't have any leaks. That better not be. Nope, that's something else. Yet again, I don't know if it's in the oil. I don't know if it's how full the oil pan is quite yet. For all I know, the oil pan, it might just be in the bottom of the oil pan, not up above where the gasket is. But I don't see anything leaking, which is good. Yeah, it's not even on the stick. Whatever I rubbed up against the side is, you know, but that's, yeah, it's not even on the stick. So it needs a little bit more. Some more. I'm excited to finally hear this engine run. It came to me in a crate. Now it's all put back together. I'm hoping it runs and it runs good. But again, you never know until you find out. I need a flashlight. I want to go over it. I just want to make sure it doesn't leak, you know, before I get it all back together. Well, actually, I'm ahead of all back together because, well, the tractor is all put back together in a way. I want to find a, here's one. Let's just quick make sure that seals aren't leaking. Gasket looks okay, everything, seal looks fine. Yeah, it's not leaking. So I mean, that's definitely a good thing. Just want to make sure it did sit for a while too, with no motor oil in it, so I just want to make sure it doesn't leak. Never hurts to be overprotective of it. And well, if it leaks, we got to take it back apart and find out why. Well, it's on the stick, so it's in the pan, or it's a little bit above the pan. Yeah. The way that this pan works, it's an automotive style pan. Here's the oil pan. This bolts to the motor. There's a dip that goes down and back up for the piston rod, what's it called, that flings the oil around for it to go down into. The dipstick, this is down here. The dipstick, this is the block where the block meets the pan, goes down to here, a little bit above that. So it's almost in the pan, but it's not really in the pan. Once you start seeing oil on that stick though, it's out of the pan and up above the gaskets. So whatever oil you see, just remember, you know, there is a little bit more oil in there than what you see on your stick. I don't know exactly how much, but it's quite a bit. So let's see. Not enough to run it off of, you know, but let's just see. My seals don't look like they're leaking, which is good. So far, all together nice. We're almost full. Almost, not close, not quite. Let's see. This is a gallon, for those of you wondering. Gallon, 5 quarts. It's actually 5 quarts. Yeah, 5 quarts. So it's a little bit over a gallon. of oil in there. I don't know how much. I think, what is it, a quarter? A gallon and a quarter, or somewhere around there of oil. Something like that. I don't know. So I'm going to stick this. Put that in, pull it back out. We're a little bit over, but that's fine. It is a rebuilt motor after all, so it's not going to hurt it to be over a little bit where it needs to be. Let's grab our battery. I'm going to go on this side. I'm going to get more battery. What do you guys think? I'm kind of excited. I'm not really sure what I'm expecting though. Okay. Well guys, I got the battery all hooked up. You guys ready to see how it works and if it works? I've been watching it to see if anything smokes. I don't see nothing yet. Let's turn the, that's not the lights. That's on. Oh well. You guys ready? Let's see. Let's see if it cranks. You know, when you hook the battery up, there's another wire you're supposed to hook up that goes to the, oops, my bad, and stay engaged in it. Everything worked. Let's try again. Ready? There we go. Headlight turned on. What'll happen? What do you guys think? Yes? No? Maybe? Will it crank? It'll crank. So now it's got oil in it. Hopefully. It might take it a second to get up to the top end, but it's got compression, as you guys see. The spark plug's dry. I hope it's dry. Let's crank the motor over. Let's see if we get spark. And if we get spark, well, we'll dump some gas down the cylinder and see if it runs. We got spark. That's awesome. We got spark! So, let me grab... I haven't put any gas in the tank. The tank is empty right now. I actually should, while I'm thinking about it. I did clean the tank out. Yeah, I did, so it should be clean, but I do want to check it anyway. Where the fuck is my fucking flashlight? You know, I should start a movie. God damn it. I should call it, how many bad words can you say in the course of 15 minutes? I bet you I'd beat the world record. Let's see. So we've got gas in there, and we know that we've got compression, and we've got oil. Let's crank it up. What do you guys think? Is it going to run? Like I said before, I haven't tested it. I don't know if it runs. I don't know if the timing's off, but we'll find out. Ready? I feel like it tried to a couple times. What's it doing? Well, that's interesting. What's up with that? I don't see nothing leaking. Where is that flashlight?
I have no idea what that noise is. I'd like to know. I don't see. Maybe we didn't put enough gas in it. Maybe it's. I don't know. It just seemed. What's that noise? What's it doing? Let's find out. Not good. It's dry. Both valves look to open. At least I think. It's got compression, so I mean, maybe it didn't have enough gas. Maybe we'll get lucky. Again, I don't want to, I really don't want to crank on it, you know, like that without having lubrication up at the top. For those of you wondering what I'm putting in it, it's a little bit of two-stroke, just to oil the top end, since it hasn't really been run. Yeah, I'll put a little more in it than I have. Oh boy, we might have an issue. I hope not. I waited now for however long to get this thing running. It could even be a points or a plug problem, actually. It could be. Plug looks okay. It had spark though. We'll try again. I've already got gas in it, so I'm not going to crank it over now with nothing in there, you know, but we'll try it again. I put a little more gas in it than I did last time, so let's see. Ready? Give it a little bit of throttle. Is it pressurized yet? It has. It's pressurized. Well, let's at least see if it wants to drive. So, it's still not wet. Why is it not firing? That's wet. Why is it not wanting to fire? Could it be the plug? You know, it'd be nice. It looks intermittent. I'm going to put another plug in here from a known good motor, and we'll see if that might solve my issue. Why did that pop out of the coil? Could that have been loose? I want to put this plug over here for now, though. I'm going to grab another plug and we'll test it and see if it. We'll test it and we'll see if it fires, you know, and if it fires, well, then we'll stick it in. It could be a plug problem, you know. I haven't run the tractor yet. I don't know how everything is. Ready? That plug looks even better. I bet you it was the plug issue. So hopefully, now that we've got a plug situated, maybe it'll decide it wants to go. Let me see. It could have been a bad plug. That spark plug wire did come out, as you guys saw. So I mean, that could have, that could have had everything, just about everything to do with it. For all I know. Well, we'll see if we can get it to run now. It almost sounded like it tried to. I mean, it almost a couple times wanted to go, but it didn't take off. At least, not that I heard. Maybe you heard it, maybe I didn't. I did notice it stopped though a couple times. I'd like to know what's up with that. Let's see if we can get it to run. Ready? Here it goes. It's trying to. I don't think that battery has enough power to spin that motor. I wonder now if that battery, or not battery, that battery's brand new. I almost wonder if that starter doesn't have enough, or is getting wore out. I heard it. I'm sure you guys heard it try to fire off too. So one of three things is the situation right now. One is maybe before we just weren't putting enough fuel in it. The second situation, and this is the one that I'm thinking happened, I timed it wrong, and since I timed it wrong, it's not firing at the time it should be, or, and this is the more than likely situation, the spark plug wire was loose, the spark plug we took out was bad, wore out, causing it to fail, as you guys saw, and not want to fire. Right now, I'm kind of on the side of it's timed wrong. It fired. You guys saw that. It tried to fire, but we didn't get it to run. And I don't know. It's one of those things though, and I think that battery is going dead. So let's see if we can get it to go. Ready? Almost. Haha, we got it. Come on, little guy. I want to say it's ether locking, but there's no ether in it, so it can't be ether lock. Let's let that battery charge up for a minute, and we'll let things cool down. And then after things cool down, I'll put more fuel in the engine and we'll try again and we'll see what happens. I've let that battery charge for a little while. It's still not fully charged. More than likely I need to put more gas in the cylinder. I actually need to put gas in the tank. But let's try it again. Let's see if we can get it to go. Ready? It's trying. Yeah, I think it needs a little more gas. I think if we put more gas in it, it'll kick. It'll kick a little harder. You know what I'm wondering too? I'm starting to wonder if when I let off the key, when I'm starting it, if spark's going away. Now I have to go down. I need a see-through guy. It's been firing. I need a see-through piston or cylinder head. I mean, I've actually seen one before. Somebody made a see-through cylinder head. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. That would be perfect for getting these motors running after they've been setting for however long. For getting a rebuilt one like this running, you can watch it and see if it's getting fuel. And if the piston's going up and down when it should, and the plug is sparking when it should. Ready? We got it. It tried. So, I think we're at the point now. I'd like to know where it was smoking out of in here. I almost wonder if it hasn't, it more than likely popped off of the pipe actually when it kicked over. No, it's still on there. So, it tried. As you guys saw, it tried. So, what my thought is, I think that starter's a little bit wore out, and I also think that battery might be kind of dead. I think that it just needed a little bit of help from the charger to get it to spin over. Why it was locking up earlier when we tried cranking it over, when you tried to throttle it, when you raise the throttle, it would stop. I don't know. That's kind of, I'm not really sure about that one. I've never experienced that before. That's kind of new. But it didn't do it once the engine started deciding to fire. I wonder if the reason it was doing it is because, as I said before, that plug was bad. I wonder if the gas, the pressure was building up and the starter wasn't quite strong enough, you know, to get it through the full compression. And plus both the valves are closed, so the gas can't go nowhere. All it can do is compress. And plus it doesn't have the weight of the flywheel pushing it up into the compression position, you know. So the gas is fighting the starter to get it to go up, because you can't really compress a liquid too well. Diesels, they don't have a spark plug. You compress the diesel and that causes it to ignite, but diesel's a little bit different than gas. So that's kind of my guess. I'm wondering if it was locking up from the gas being up there, which it wasn't leaking through the valves, which is good, but these Kohlers are supposed to have a decompression valve in them. So the decompression is on the camshaft, and it opens up the exhaust valve a little bit, and it pushes the exhaust valve up depending on how fast the engine's spinning. If the engine's not spinning very fast and it's being spun by the starter, it will be engaged. However, when the engine speeds up, there's a little weight on the camshaft. When momentum goes, it wants to, this is the gear, it wants to pull away from the gear while the gear is spinning. Therefore, it comes out, causing the little thing in the cam to make the exhaust valve stay open to come down. So that's just about how it works. I think I explained it just about the correct way. So I'm going to put some gas in the tank. Let's watch it. Let's see if it leaks anywhere. Let's see how it goes. I do want to check that tank, and after we do that, I'll put some gas in it and we'll see, you know, if it leaks anywhere, and we'll let it get to the engine, and once it gets to the engine, we'll spin it over and we'll see if we can get it to start. I think we're there. I do think we're there. But I think, like I said before, I also think what was going on too is the motor hasn't run yet. There's no oil up in the top end. Now the two-stroke oil does help it a little bit, you know, with getting some lubrication up there. But again, underneath the piston, the rod journal, what's it called? The what's it called that the piston's on, connected to the crank, or to the rod? Right there, there's no oil at the moment. I think I oiled it before I put it together. I can't remember if I did or not. Right now it should have a little bit of oil on it from the engine trying to run. I'm hoping there's some oil up in the valves. But before I do anything with the tractor, as in use it, I'm going to let it sit and warm up, get to running temperature, and just run for a while. I'm not going to try to throttle it up. I'm not going to run it full throttle for a while. I'm just going to let the engine kind of, you know, get how it needs to be into idling running temperature. And after it does that, it should hopefully be ready to run. There it goes. Tried. I might need a second to get up to the amp gauge. Works. That's good. Could have done that. It works, kinda. I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it prime itself for a minute, and then after I think that it's all primed up and ready, I'll crank on it and we'll see how it does. Brake works. I think both brakes on it work, so. Well, ready? Put some gas in here. I might have to help it prime, is what I'm starting to see. That or that pump could be no good. I actually didn't even think about that. And it probably doesn't help neither as fighting compression. You just run it like this. Hopefully that helped it pull up some gas into the carb bowl. I might have to check and see if that pump is good. I'm hoping that pump is not no good. What I should do is fill the float bowl. I'll have my covers back on it. I should take the covers, the tins back off of the tractor for right now. I don't know why I put them back on. I guess I wanted to get a picture of it for Facebook. So, you know, you want to get your picture of it for Facebook, and so you piece it together. Mostly. Piece it all back together. The camera fucking died on me when I got it to start. So you guys, I don't know if you missed it or not, but it's running. I put some gas in the tank. I'm going to try driving it out. It's probably been running now for about a minute or so. It's about 30 degrees outside, so I'd like to get it out of here quick. But you guys can't see it. Oh well. Let's get it out. I think the smoke was it burning off all the two-stroke. It's not smoking no more. It quit as soon as I got it out here, so that's good. It didn't smell, it smelled like two-stroke. Like how a two-stroke engine sounds when you're running it. Man, it runs really good though. I'm gonna be quiet so you guys can listen to it. It does have a little bit of what looks like smoke, but it is clearing up and I think it's steam. So yeah, I'm gonna let it sit here and run for a while. Once it gets up to running temperature, I'm gonna try driving it up the driveway and we'll see how it does. I'm gonna take tell you what though, it drives real nice. I don't think I've ever had a 300 series that moved that smooth. Or a Hydro and Matter. I mean, that runs really nice. It jumps a little bit, but I mean, it's okay. Not bad. Still no leaks. I'll call it a win. Well, I tried throttling it. Didn't want to throttle. It does, actually, it runs pretty good. I mean, I can't really complain, you know. It's not the first engine I've ever rebuilt, you know, but you still get excited, even though I've already rebuilt quite a few engines before this one, you know, but you still get that feeling, that good feeling when you do it and you hear the thing you've been working on for so long run. And you can just rub it in everyone's face that said you couldn't do it. I got one person in mind right now that I'm going to rub it in for sure. So, you always, you can rebuild 100 engines in your lifetime, and you'll always get that feeling once you're done. And you finally hear that engine that you rebuild start running for the first time like that. That motor was in a box. I mean, I wasn't going to mess with it. I figured everything was missing. You know, once I started looking at it, and plus it had sat outside and water had gotten into the motor too. So I mean, it didn't, there was a lot of surface rust on a lot of parts, and a lot of pieces just didn't look like they were going to come back to life. There was one that looked so corroded, it almost looked like the rust had started pitting it. And I really didn't trust it, you know, to hold itself together. But once I cleaned it up and really looked at it, it didn't look bad. I mean, it had one or two pit spots in it. It wasn't a bearing surface, I think it was the rod, just down on the bottom, towards the bottom. But, I mean, it runs good, and you know, it seems like it's doing a good job and doing what it's supposed to, so. It's still locked up on me. I noticed when I had even got, after I had just run it and it was warm, I don't think that it's spinning over fast enough right now. I think that starter might be the problem. More than likely I'm gonna have to replace or rebuild that starter, which is okay. I was kind of expecting it. You know, no hard feelings there. I do want to check real quick. I just want to look it over and make sure there's no leaks still. None of my seals are leaking. I just want to take a quick look. Since I have it, I can still take it apart right now. That's not leaking. Actually, no, it's not leaking. That's not wet. I don't see any remnants of oil anywhere except for on that, but it was already on there. The PTO piece right there already has a little bit of oil on it. The block looks dry. I mean, it looks absolutely perfect. You know, I mean, I don't see any oil. Ooh. Oh. I was looking at that. One of the studs on there looked like the cam, the piece inside there that holds the cam. It looked like it was popping out, but once I looked at it a little bit further, I noticed threads on it. I thought, you know, threads shouldn't be on that piece. It's got the, that's the piece for the PTO. I don't see any gas. I don't see any oil. Nothing. I see some on the pump in the spring, but that was there. I never I don't think I ever cleaned the pump. I mean, it looks good. I don't see any leaks anywhere. I don't know about the transmission. I want to look it over while I'm still in the spirit of going back into it again, just to make sure that everything. That's a brand new filter. That's good. No remnants. The valve looks good. You know, I should have tested that. I don't have any attachments, so I couldn't have tested the valve. All the line, ooh, that line looks kind of cracked, but it should be okay. That looks good, that looks good. Yeah, everything under here looks fine. I mean, it doesn't look bad. Looks good. It's got fluid. My fluid level went up. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, cool. Runs and drives just fine, you know. I mean, I can't really complain. I don't know how long this video is. I think it's taken the course of now 3 months. So right now it's April 2nd, actually. Yesterday was April 1st. I can't remember when the last portion of this video was filmed. I want to say it was filmed back in February or March, maybe even January actually, but I can't remember. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for coming back and checking out the channel. Me and my pathetic, I wouldn't really call it a collection. When I originally started doing this, I never intended to collect tractors. I would call it more or less of a fleet. I really wouldn't call it a collection. I never really wanted to collect tractors, but you know, you start getting more. I always called it a fleet, but other people started saying, I like your collection. I had one guy tell me, who came here to buy something. I can't remember what he bought. I think he watches the channel now. He looked at all my tractors. He said, oh my God, look at all these tractors. And he went through the shop and kind of looked around. He was telling me about some of the Cubs he had. And he had a Bollins and a wheel horse as well. And he had a deer. I don't remember what the deer was. But he told me that he's never been in a building before where this many tractors were. He told me he has about 7 or 8 tractors, and I told him, well, I don't know exactly how many I had at the time. I think I had them around, I want to say I had around 15 or 16 at that time, which I have 17 or 18 right now. So, great. So yeah, it was kind of a rocky start at first. The tractor did smoke. I think, like I said before, it was just burning off the 2-stroke oil that I had put in it. That, and you know, it was the first start, so the rings have got a seat, which, I mean, they did, and they seated good, and it ran really good, and it felt like it had plenty of power behind it, but the carb needs to be cleaned. Not cleaned, it needs to be adjusted still. I haven't adjusted the carb yet. I'll probably end up doing that tomorrow. I don't know how long this video is, so I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to end it right here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If I decide to edit anything, if I decide to add anything to this video, I will before I upload it. The video hopefully will be up this Sunday. I don't know if it's going to be up this Sunday or not, but I guess we'll see. I want to thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time checking out the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do videos just about like this pretty much every week. Sometimes I go a week or two without uploading a video, but I don't have anything against YouTube. I don't have anything against my subscribers. I do have a couple things against YouTube, but sometimes you just run out of ideas and you got to sit down and think about it for a little while. I've been doing this now for about 3 years, maybe 4 years. No, 3 years. So, yeah. sometimes you kind of run out of ideas and got to sit down and think about it a little bit, what you want to film. And then plus I've fixed everything. I've pretty much have got everything I have running. The only thing right now I do not have running is the home light and my red patio. The red patio, however, is ready to run. I just need to get some ambition gathered up and get to it. The motor I put in it runs. I know that engine runs. It burns oil, but it runs. It's kind of weak, but it does run. For what that tractor is going to be doing, that motor is going to be just fine for it. The home light does not run. I need to get into it soon. I do plan on getting into it soon. I had somebody ask me when I plan on getting into it. I've also got somebody asking me if I want to sell it. I really don't want to sell it, but I did kind of think about it. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I guess we'll see. Well, the only other tractors I can think of around here that don't run at the moment are the 140s. But that's just about it. I need to find an engine for the one. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Like I said before, thank you guys for all the support. You guys killed it with the support for the 140 videos. I was really surprised at how quick those videos got up there in views. I think the one video I filmed on the 140 is almost at 200 views around now. So I want to thank you guys for that. I really do appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed, and usually YouTube does tell me, it does tell me who subscribes. I actually do go on there and look at your channels, and usually if there's videos on the channel and I think they're cool, I'll subscribe back. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes there's some channels that subscribe that don't have any videos. Sometimes there's some channels that subscribe that I don't really know what kind of videos they are, so sometimes I'll watch and see what they are, sometimes I won't. Other times there are channels that subscribe to me that are tractor related channels. There are actually a few tractor related channels that have subscribed to me, and I went back and watched to see what they were, and I actually thought their videos were really cool, so I ended up subscribing to them, and I watch them regularly, and I comment on their videos too, and ask questions and other things like that. So yeah, if you have it set so it tells publicly who all you subscribe to, that you're subscribed to them, it'll tell me your name and when you subscribed, and I'll go on there and I'll look and see who all subscribed and what, if they have any videos or not. And like I said, you know, sometimes I'll subscribe back, and if I like if you upload a tractor video and I like what I see, hell, there's even channels out there that upload mystery things and searching abandoned buildings and other things like that. Four-wheeler channels subscribe to me, and I go and check them out and see what I think. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. I'm gonna have to find the beginning of this video and piece it to this part of the video now. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. Take care.